So I just got a notification from Amazon, and it was order delivery for Exmark advanced chute, fucking discharge blocker, whatever you want to call it, for our mowers. So I just went to the house and picked those up. I'm going to go to the shop and install them. On the website, it shows like 5 different models, and each model fits like 30 mowers. And I read the reviews saying that they're a bitch to install, and they're kind of janky. So I'm about to find out, but if need be, I'm gonna beef it up a little bit. Hopefully they turn out to be pretty good, because we blow grass in people's mulch and it's a pain in the ass. So hopefully these advanced chutes guards do the thing. So I guess we'll find out. All right, so got my box, got 2 of these guys. Go ahead and just open one of them up. So I get a little parts list, exploded view, might be handy. Looks like the hardware kit. They definitely use quite a bit of bubble wrap. That should be the lever. Looks like these are probably cut out on a water jet. Really nice. Looks like about a 1/4 inch thickness. And here's the main part. Lots of holes. Apparently needs some airflow, or else it just clumps up. I made one of these, and it didn't really work out too well. So that's why we're gonna give these guys a chance. So I'm gonna put this guy right there. I'll let you know how it goes. All right. So what I've noticed about this thing is the fact that it's universal is kind of horseshit. They've got a whole bunch of holes drilled in the mounting plate for whatever reason. None of them line up with an Exmark. Really, nothing does. But what I ended up doing was I set this plate in the back directly on the deck, and you can drill holes in it and put some bolts through it, and it would be fine. They give you the spacers, and you can have some kind of selection and raise this plate off the deck. And in my opinion, it would be, you know, a lot less stable, and you would have to make sure these bolts stay tight. Let alone they would also collect tons of grass underneath the heads of the bolt wood. There's already enough shit down there to collect grass, so I'm gonna try to avoid that. So a couple things I'm gonna have to do, and if you have this issue too, there's a couple tabs that come on the Exmark for attachments. I've previously cut those off, but I found out that I would probably have needed to anyway. So those are gone, and this guy sticks out a little bit further than I wanted because of this bolt, and I didn't want to cut that off, cover it up, or have to raise the plate above it, so I just scooted it forward, and I'm going to trim this off. Another thing that kind of sucks about this is the outside plate is really long. I'll see if I can get a good angle here. Yeah, this is decent. So this guy is pretty tall. There's about 2 inches that it sticks down below the deck. You can see the edge of the deck. It keeps on going. If you left it like this, it would catch on dirt. You would bend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this right at the edge of the deck on the bottom, and I'm going to cut it off. So I'm going to have a rigid mount. I'm going to make a couple welds on the deck. Just a few, 3 I think will hold it just fine. And if I need to, I'm going to put the welds in locations that I can easily grind them off if I need to do that in the future. I don't really see a need to, but I don't want to bolt it down, and I think just a couple welds will be sufficient. Anyway, that's the update for now. I'll give you another one on down the line. Okay, we're all mounted up and ready to go, minus a coat of paint. I want to make note that I cut the bottom section off. Let's see, there's this much of the bottom that I cut off because it was sticking down past the bottom of the deck, and I didn't want that to get caught on things. That length that they send it to you is kind of a shot in the dark, because the hardware kit has all those spacers, and if you mounted it 2 inches off the deck, you would need that extra length, which I opted not to do. I welded it. Just a few decent structural, they're deep, deep welds, but they're going to be as strong, if not stronger, than a few bolts, especially with those big long spacers and whatnot. It's pretty easy to put together, especially when you don't use all their stuff. But you can see I trimmed the bottom piece off, and then I went ahead and rounded the edges so that those don't get caught on everything as well. So it would have been that much longer, but I didn't need it, so good with it. I was concerned that it didn't open all the way, but especially with that extra piece trimmed off, it gets it up out of the way a bit more. Still not perfectly straight up. If you have to go through a gate, this is a 60-inch deck. If you have to go through a gate where you barely fit, probably be better off to close the little cover there. But other than that, pretty pleased with it, and I've got a couple other ones to mount, so if I run into any other issues with a different deck, I will let you know, because this is an older XS model, and all the rest of the machines are the X series, X marks. So anyhow, hope this was informative.